So from my side, we've published a bigger announcement earlier on what's happening behind the stage, behind the scenes, and we've expressed everything related to the ecosystem rewards, DEX development, and Launchpad activity. And I would like to just for a few minutes point out the most important things that will be happening in February. So right now we are finishing, and I hope that we will finish the KyberSwap integration during the weekend. There is one minor thing that we need to deliver in that case to make the whole feature like 100% usable. It is usable right now. You can basically swap any token to any token available on Arbitrum and KyberSwap through our interface with prioritization of Sparta pools. Leo, KyberSwap on Monday. Maybe not on Monday. I hope to announce it next week when it's ready. We'll most probably release it before we announce it, so that we can, try it out, and when it's 100% ready to be announced, we will do that for sure. Regarding the next steps of the development, we've decided that in order to make the next step of moving to linear or scroll, we need a DEX that will be will meet the market standards. So right now we are working on new designs and the concepts of like hollow Hades we've posted recently. These are just concepts. I know that there are plenty of you that love the current design of SpartaDex, and I love it too, and it's not going anywhere. But we are looking for more modern design that could be more, unified across different chains that we will be launching on. So regarding Launchpad, I know that in January we had some delays, and I'm personally I feel responsibility, and I'm obliged to say that it wasn't meant to be like that, right? It never is, and Web3 industry is extremely dynamic. Even though we sometimes agree with a project on a certain date, there is a centralized exchange that jumping in and changes the dates or something, or we need to wait for a week or two because there is some development, a problem that they need to solve before the IDO, before the launch, because the IDO is most often very close to the TGE. So these are extremely dynamic environment, and I hate delaying anything, postponing anything, but sometimes it happens. I can say that in February we have already 3 confirmed IDOs. We have MetaHorse, we have obviously Starve Heroes in 5 days, MetaHorse around mid-February. We have Legions of Elysium more in the late February, and we will. So these are 3 gaming projects, and the gaming has been recently very hyped up. So I hope for 3 good IDOs, and we have 4th IDO that we agreed on behind the scenes, and this is an absolute beast, and it's not gaming related, and it will be end of February, beginning of March, if nothing, stops them from that date and make the delays. But I must say that this is like an eclipse size of the IDO, so a very big player on the Web3 market, and in order to bring you the best deals with and to extend the usability of the token and the utilities of the token, we've introduced late January the private sales, and for that purpose we've introduced a new tier, the aristocrat tier, that we initially didn't have name for, and it was like Sparta VCs, announced as Sparta VCs. And I think it's very beneficial because it closes the gap between the hero and god tier. I know that some people today complained that it dilutes the tickets, the allocation sizes for the IDOs, but it's not true. In fact, it's just in a little. It dilutes it a little bit, as I've calculated that introducing the aristocrat tier decreased the guaranteed allocation for the hero tier, for the Star Heroes IDO, by $35. It's not much, and I can say that people who are in the hero tier have now an incentive to stake more in order to get even higher, bigger benefits of possessing Sparta, like joining the private sales, which is an enormous opportunity in the stage of the market that we are currently in. Because I know personally many people from my environment, even from really well connected, that doesn't have the best deals or the private sales deals available for them. So it's really closed, I'd say, closed markets, the private sales, and you need to be really well connected to get them. And the allocations are also lower, because I must say that I also invest as a private investor. And I must say that we have a really big allocations for private sales on SpartaDex. And we have 2 private sales to be announced next week. One from gaming, and the other one, the big player that I've mentioned for the IDO. So there is certainly something to wait for. So I think that February will be way better in terms of IDOs and successful IDOs than January. What is more, from each private sale we take 5% commission, and this is like 50% less than the market standard in terms of venture capital pools, as we operate right now in terms of private sales, like a VC pool. And this is a 5% commission, and this 5% from each fundraising will go to our treasury, and we will next week announce what is it, for what we will spend this money, because for Plena it was $10K, our first private round. The 5% was $10K, but imagine that we have 15 or 20 projects, or even 5 projects, and each of them provides us with 10K or 5K to our treasury, and these are private sales on the way lower valuation than the market that they will be launching on. So our treasury will be bigger and bigger with each idea, with each private sale, and with each TGE of the project. So we will have a huge non-inflationary source of income that we could, for example, share. And that would be this for the Launchpad. We also announced and posted the new designs for Launchpad. As we are aware of that we are not meeting the market standard for the designs in terms of our Launchpad as well, and we are, looking for ways to improve it, to improve user interface and user experience. We've hired way better, I'd say, and way more experienced graphic designer that is as well as UI UX experience. And I think that will change the whole view of SpartaDex and will make it, way more usable than it is right now. And my fourth point, before we go to questions, is I'd like to say that in terms of the roadmap, for example, we are searching right now for a blue ocean, because imagine the market of the DEXs on Arbitrum. It is a great example of a red ocean where the competition and competitors are, it is hard to break through, to shine in terms of just DEX itself. Basically, on every chain that Uniswap or SushiSwap is in, it is very little space for other DEXs to thrive. Therefore, the whole idea of gamified DEX, gamified Launchpad, etc., created a blue ocean. I'd say a market space where you don't need to compete with others, because you've created a whole different niche where you can thrive as the leader, as the only one in the room, in fact. And this is what we are working on right now, because we don't want to stop on just DEX or just Launchpad. And we are working on improving that, of course, because we are not, leaving that behind. We are not leaving behind any of our products and parts of the ecosystem, because each one of you had their own path in Sparta. Some of you were more into game. Some of you entered the Sparta community because of the Launchpad. Some of you because of the DEX, and some of you because of the NFTs. So all of you have your own path and your own look at Sparta. As Sparta is a complex set of products, is an ecosystem of products, and for each one of you, different parts are more important than others. And so we are definitely not leaving anything behind, and we are looking for a blue ocean that would merge all of that and create a new space for new development and new narratives, maybe even new narratives on the market. As gamified DEX was something that, like DeFi Kingdoms, was the only product out there, but they were more like a game than the DEX. Yeah. So definitely a blue ocean. And let me check the chat, because due to some GIFs, I closed it because it was a bit distracting. Okay, Roro, do you have any question that you've seen on the chat that are worth?
Yes. Well, there's one in general chat that is asking about your. It's very broad, but they're asking about your connection to GameSwift.
So, as Panparagraph has stated on a Twitter like a few months ago, I don't know, like in October, in September, like I was part of the GameSwift team, but after gaining enormous and invaluable experience from working there, like we've decided to start a new project on Arbitrum, as it was getting more and more hyped, and we wanted to create something like never before. And I can say that we have created, because I don't know any community basically like Spartan's community that is so eager, devoted, and of course critical as well, but this criticism is constructive and is very valuable for us. So I know Panparagraph, but our paths have
Yeah, you've crossed paths.
Yeah.
No, that's great. You guys need to play 1 versus 1 in Star Heroes. Anyway, there's another question.
I would lose, definitely. I would lose.
So Chain Chomper asks, how do you plan to be able to continue to attract new users? The GameFi aspect is awesome. It is why I like it. It keeps me coming back. I think the overall balance is there, he says afterwards. So how do you attract new users?
Yeah, so right now there is a huge market that we don't we are not on this market because SpartaDex is only available for PCs, right? And the mobile version of it would change the game, as availability on. To be honest, I was not aware how many crypto bros operates on mobile, as I've always used it on PC, like due to safety reasons, for example.
Yeah.
And then I've realized that 70% of crypto bros use it on mobile, like MetaMask browser, etc. So we are going into this direction. We want to implement our DEX with the new design and a bit refreshed concept on a mobile version, and Launchpad, of course, is available on mobile, but with new designs as well.
Yeah, it's very important for, especially countries where a computer is very expensive compared to the salary. They use the phone a lot. I see Nostradamus has got his hand raised, so we'll invite him up on stage. He's a reoccurring Spartan. You can unmute now. Nostradamus, you there?
Okay, 1 second, I was muted. So now you can hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yes, I have a question regarding the log drop ecosystem rewards. So how are they now exactly calculated? So you mentioned that it's 8 times bigger than the liquidity which is normally added. So we can estimate about the 1/8 of the API we see on the DEX, or how is it calculated? How is it calculated?
So it depends on the pair you're adding liquidity to. It depends on so 1/8 difference is in liquidity added from the log drop and post log drop, and 66% of all ecosystem rewards are being distributed to log drop participants, so it's 2 times bigger chunk than for the post log drop users. So the APRs as we've calculated them, are around like 20+% for Sparta, as there was a huge difference in liquidity, as I've mentioned, and the double digits for most of the pairs except from USDC, USDT pool. So we basically allocated 2/3 of the ecosystem rewards for that period and distributed to lock drop participants, depending on the pairs.
Can you maybe reveal a formula or anything to the community so that we lock drop participants can calculate it ourselves, so that it be transparent? I don't, because
yeah, sure.
That would be really helpful, and I think there would be no complaints anymore.
Okay. So from now on, the next distribution, like from today or from 31st of January, we will share the exact number and the APR for that purse.
Okay, thanks a lot. And I think maybe I have another question. Regarding the launchpad, especially the Heroes IDO, there was in the town hall of GameSwift, they mentioned that Sparta will also be the main launchpad of G-Swift, obviously, and the G-Swift stakers can also participate in the launch. So the 200K fundraising now is only for Spartans, or also for G-Swift stakers, or is there an additional round for them?
No, there is no additional round for G-Swift stakers as far as I know, and it definitely doesn't go from the 200K that we allocated to Spartans. I believe that there might be a bit of misunderstanding, as the launchpad and the DEX of Sparta is meant to be the leading DEX on G-Swift chain that is yet to launch. Therefore, and we didn't at some point in the future, when the G-Swift chain launches, we might share the deal flow between our projects, but it's not in terms of the upcoming IDO of Star Heroes.
Okay, I understand. Thanks a lot. Another question I have is, for example, how do you want to? Sparta is going multi-chain, and how do you want to attract liquidity on chains like Scroll, Linea, or any other chain? Because the lock drop already had, so obviously.
Yes, of course. So there are two ways of attracting or moving existing liquidity, and this has to be subject to governance proposal. But there are two ways, simply through providing liquidity ecosystem rewards on the other chain, and bridging Sparta there, adding a pair of Sparta to USDC on Linea or Scroll, and then using our current position and I'd say the transparency we have, or the history we have, that we are a safe project in terms of the team. We don't want to and we obviously won't rug, right? This brings yeah, you can be sure of that.
Okay,
okay, yes, this is the red flag, No, but I mean we have a history and track record, so through ecosystem rewards we can attract more liquidity to Linea to bootstrap it, or we can decide, obviously, with the stakers and the liquidity providers, in order to move a part of the liquidity from Arbitrum, because the truth is we right now we don't need 1.5 million of USDC USDT pool on Arbitrum, right? There are pools that are more efficient, like on Uniswap, for example, and on Linea it might be very very useful. And Linea, as this is a consensus team and MetaMask team, like we expect them to airdrop the token not only to usual like DeFi participants, actors, but also to projects like Arbitrum did, and Scroll the same. So we as a protocol could benefit from being there early and having a TVL, a significant TVL, because with 4 or 5 million in TVL on Linea, you can be top 2 DEX, I guess, as far as I remember, checking that back in January. So this is a huge opportunity to grab, like, I'd say, insane amount of tokens from airdrop. This is, of course, a speculation, and then share it with
the liquidity providers. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the community. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. But when do you plan to launch them on Linea, for example? So yeah, the timeline. So would be interesting to have a look.
Yeah, we aim for like Q1 of 2024 to launch there.
Oh, okay. Okay, that would be great. Let's think about if I have any other questions. Yeah, regarding the game, is there any alpha you can share? How, because right now we're grinding the game and we obviously don't see any rewards in the gamified aspects as we expected, for example, with the API boost or anything. Could you share some alpha there? How the pieces, how the game would be more in the center of the heart of SpartaDex?
Okay, so the alpha will be one word. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and you can assign to it as many narratives, but because it makes everything like a puzzles, a whole picture. And if you remember what I said about, for example, the treasury, the airdrop from Linea, for example, etc. And now I drop that word, leaderboard.
Okay. I'm grinding the game. I will grind the game further, of course. But I think one thing would be also interesting to maybe also reward active players. For example, you have a treasured for level 25 or anything. To have also some kind of first come first serve allocation or anything like that in the launchpad, for example.
You mean in the launchpad? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean in the launchpad, for example, that would be also a really nice thing.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Great questions. I think we gotta move on to some other people now.
I will step down. I will step down now. Okay, but thanks for your answers and yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Nostradamus. Thank you.
Okay, so multiple people are asking what the future of NFT staking looks like.
Yeah, so we've shared I've shared the concept of the actual concept of the design that we have for that, and so staking NFTs will be available. You will be able to stake up to 5 NFTs, just like right now you can have up to 5 NFTs that calculates into the launchpad participation, and there are 3 below the temple of from that columns. As I said, this is just an initial concept. But below that, you have like 3 caves. But I'm not going to say anything more about that.
Okay.
The...
Keep it classified.
Yeah,
And then
I will.
Vin
I
has
need
this...
to keep something classified because your ability, guys, to extract the alpha from me here on stage is
Yeah, you're vulnerable up here on stage. All these people throwing balls at you. Okay, Vin has a question, so we'll invite him up on stage. I think he was first, if I'm not mistaken. I'll invite Chain Jump up as well. So whoever gets up here first, guys, gets the microphone. There you go.
Trigger.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me back up. Really appreciate it. Like I said, love the project. Love the game. It keeps me coming back. One thing I'm noticing kind of throughout the chat and just as I play, and I feel like it's coming down the pipeline, but just a little more hype with the graphics would make it just that much more satisfying. Just a little more clink during the battles with the barracks. I think the vibe is there. I love the whole medieval structure that you guys have built. I think it's great. I do think that once you start getting to higher levels, as the previous speaker said, that it may be valuable to reevaluate the game mechanics and the way that they reward players that have been playing that long. That being said, I just wanted to say thank you guys for building a great project and for letting us in on it. So thank you.
Thank you, Chain Champo. So regarding the the visuals, the designs, I totally agree that after like more than 6 months that we're live, it might need some refreshment in terms of that clink, and rewarding people, even not only through some like material things, but also with the visual aspect of the decks, as it's important to have the fireworks when you win, or something in the casinos, for example. Obviously, it works way different here in Sparta.
Sure.
But yeah,
and I think with the whole Spartan narrative, you guys have the ability to really create some unique and powerful sound effects to go along with the gamified aspect. So I think you're well positioned, Leonidas, to stand strong. So I'm going to stand down. Thank you again, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I might need to ask for a volunteer to come up here, and then we'll have a sword fight, and then we'll record the audio from that. But maybe another time. All right, Vin is up here now. Let me just unmute him. Vin, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good too. Thanks.
Good. I just want to say first time actually even on a Discord AMA. So super excited about that. You guys have definitely got me on board. Okay, so just a few questions regarding the polis. So for example, I'm a level 18 Senate, and I have, I think it's 65%. Yeah, it's 65% a current yield boost. I was just wondering, what is that applied to?
Yeah, so this is something that was not implemented yet, hasn't been implemented yet,
Okay.
and we are working on a way to reward Polis NFT users, because basically, if you enter our Discord chat, and this is completely understandable, but like every day there are questions regarding the Polis NFT boost that should be available to all users, and through providing liquidity, you could boost the APR on that liquidity through the Senate level.
Right.
Yeah, so we are working on a way to reward users for developing the police NFT, and to give a real value for all those that develop the police.
Okay. Okay, great. Also, this might be a silly question, but to participate in the Launchpad or the private sale, does that strictly have to be staked in the SAS, the single asset staking pool, or can that be can it also be the LP staking pools?
No, for now it is only single asset staking.
Only single asset staking. Okay.
Yes, and NFTs which are liquid.
And NFTs, right? Okay. Now another question. So, in regards to the SAS staking pool, it says here. Sorry, just bear with me 1 second. So it says overview. There's 9.3 million Sparta tokens staked, which is very impressive. But then beside that, it says so. Like right now, I'm talking. It says 5.22 APR. And then right beside that, it says 44% protocol staking ratio. And then under that, it says SAS plus LP tokens. So is that like 5.22 plus 44%, or is that like in regards to the single asset staking pool?
So 5.22 is an APR on staking, on single asset staking. And the protocol staking ratio is a ratio of the tokens that are staked to all tokens that are in the circulating supply, in the circulation. So we have 20 million of the tokens in the circulation and 9.4 million staking, plus, of course, the tokens from liquidity are also adding to the staked tokens.
Okay. Okay, and I'm just gonna ask one more question. So when I'm staking, when I'm staking with the LP, in the pool, the LP pools, liquidity provider pools, it says that I'm able to. Sorry, just bear with me 1 moment here. So if this is correctly, do I get the APY for the USDC Sparta pool? The APY for that right now is 71.93%. Now when and then after that I'm allowed to stake it. So like how does that like what would that total in terms of APY? Does that make sense?
So I'm not sure if I understood, but
okay. So when you go when you go, it'll say like you add the liquidity, right?
Yeah.
Into the pools, you add the liquidity, and then after that you stake it, right?
Yes.
So is that just like the process? That's just how it works, or that's where the 70% APY comes into play?
Yes, for the staking liquidity. For staking liquidity, you are rewarded with the 70% of the APY. It changes because it depends on the dollar value of the liquidity pool. It depends on the price of Sparta, which are rewards. Yes, and it depends on the volume on the pool, because each pool is subject to 0.3% of the fee. And by creating volume, for example, like 1 million or 2 million on a pool, this is an additional like $300-$600 extra that adds up to the APY. So it depends on price of Sparta, dollar value of the liquidity pool, and the volume on a pair.
Okay. Now, so another question I had in regards to the aristocrat tier. So the allocation is $3,000. Is that like guaranteed? I mean, because for example, once a lot of like maybe more people start staking, and then there's only $100,000 or 200,000 that's being raised, whatever the case may be. Is that?
But you mean a private sale or IDO?
Yes. Sorry. For the private sale.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the aristocrat tier. It's a guarantee. So if you stake 25,000 tokens, it's a guaranteed $3,000 allocation. So is that guaranteed like each and every time, or is that is that only with like how much money would so let's say if there's a whole bunch of people that have the aristocrat tier and there's only $200,000 to be to go around, right? Like would that how does that work?
Yeah, so this is okay, so there are, if you refer to tiers, because I'm looking at it right now here on Discord in the SpartaPad, there is a guaranteed no risk high allocation, but we must add it here that this is referring to IDOs and the private sales allocation as well, but private sales allocation is based on first come first serve basis, and we need to adjust the communication regarding that on Twitter. As the word time sensitivity wasn't I'd say wasn't good right now, because it was misunderstood, I'd say, by the community, but it is our responsibility to be clear in what we are implementing, so it's on us. But in terms of the last two private sales, you had plenty of time to join, as the Plena Finance, which was really hot, which is a really hot project. It took 2 hours to fill the fundraising, and MetaHorse, it was like 16 or 18 hours.
Okay. So so it doesn't. So the whole thing is first come first serve when it comes to the sorry, not the launchpad, but the investment tier. So it's all first come first serve.
Private sales and IDOs.
That's what I was saying. Yes. That's what I was saying. Sorry, the private sales is all first come first serve.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
basically, yes.
Okay.
Because it's oversubscribed, right? So. Yeah.
Okay.
And let me explain the reason behind this, because if we would allow only to have only guaranteed allocations, the fundraising wouldn't close, because there is always a person that don't want to enter the IDO.
Yeah, right? Like every single project
under the private sale. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so then if I'm hearing you correctly, what that does, the aristocrat tier, that gives you guaranteed $3,000 allocation in the IDOs for the IDOs?
No, these are there is a guaranteed allocation in the aristocrat tier for the IDOs, but it depends on the IDO. It's not $3,000. For example, for Star Heroes, you have $450 of guaranteed allocation, and as far as I remember, $600 of first come first served.
Okay, because I think I had seen.
It varies depending on the project. So from project to project, it'll vary with the price and what they're raising and the market cap and all the tokenomics, all that jazz.
Right. Okay.
Have you got any more questions?
No, that's it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks very much, guys. Love the project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a few questions in the forum that I would like to answer, because they're really valuable. So the first one is from Le Souza. Would you consider allowing big holders and stakers of Sparta Hero and God tier input into deal sourcing? I and others invest into many deals. I've done over 200 personally since 2017, and it's really impressive. And many deals I see would both be available and provide big return on investment to Sparta. Yes, that would be awesome, and we are looking for people that may support us in gathering deals, better and better deals. And that's the purpose of the group that we will be opening in a matter of days on our Telegram, because as you could see on our launchpad, there were a new button for those who have at least 25k of Sparta staked, and you were asked to give your Telegram handle if you wish to join this exclusive group, because not all of the deals, not all of the private deals will be available through our launchpad, and we would announce them. Some projects don't want to promote their private sale on Twitter. Therefore, some of the deals will be exclusive on the Telegram group, and of course, the treasury will benefit from it, and users that will enter, so our aristocrat and God tier stakers will benefit from that, but the public will not know that something like that is happening. So yeah, hot deals, private deals, and this will be a great chance, Lesouza, to share your deal flow as well. Yeah. So often the next question from Lesouza, often public round is more attractive than private round. Could you structure private round so that gets benefit of refund? This could be a cost of dealing with Sparta. Yeah, so the difference, and the huge difference between the IDO and the private round is that private is usually raised to, bootstrap the development before the TGE. So these are, in some cases, money that project is spending on a daily basis. So I don't believe that we could have basically any project on our launchpad in a private round to agree on something like that. Yeah, so the private round is a bit more risky with no refunds, but private round is as well for more responsible investors. Okay, hey, from Vladimir. Hey team, do you have any plans to replace Guaranteed Plus first come first served system with Guaranteed Plus lottery system? I believe that this will be much fairer and much less stressful option for distributing allocations among Sparta stakers. So right now, there are pros and cons to both solutions, like lottery and first come first served, and there are opponents and to both of them. But we are looking for a solution that will be some kind of a mix where there is a lottery and there is a first come first served system as well, and we are working on that and working on numbers, because it's really hard to calculate and split the allocations across 6 tiers of stakers and 3 types of the NFTs that we have, and guaranteed first come first served allocation, and now the lottery. But we are doing so because I remember the poll on Twitter that was around 50-50 to first come first served and lottery, and I've seen the comments, and most of the comments were like, make the lottery, make the lottery, make the lottery. So yes, I can say that we are working on a hybrid of those two systems that I think that would make feel better and have a better opinions from a broader audience. But this is also something that I would like to discuss with elders first, and on general chat before we make any steps towards that. For Starve Heroes IDO, there will be few chances of getting a whitelist spot for a guaranteed allocations. We allocated a few tickets to some of the reputable KOLs and influencers that we cooperate with. So take part in their giveaways, contests, and try your luck, as this is a chance of getting a small guaranteed allocation as well. Okay. When can we expect lockdrop Gs with dual rewards? So from our conversations with GameSwift, and we are in the conversations with GameSwift, we are technically ready to implement that as soon as the current staking liquidity pools ends, which is in around 3 days. So you can expect that, I'd say, pretty soon. If something, obviously, there will be some difficulties, we will inform you in advance. But I think that it's a matter of days to launch the new pools as well. Can you hire a full-time CM to the Discord channel? So I'm increasing my activity on Discord channel. Roro Noazoro is one of the best CMs, and Leonidas as well. So there are 3 of us working, so you can be happy. Of course, I have other responsibilities as well, but I'm trying to get into the Discord, and jump into the conversation, answer difficult questions. It's always useful if you tag me, the true Leonidas, so I can better find the questions. Sometimes I'm missing some messages because I enter and there is like 100 messages. And if I were only to be with you guys on Discord, even though it's a great pleasure, we couldn't move forward with Sparta. Yeah, and we have elders as well, and huge shout out to you guys. You're bringing a huge value to the Sparta ecosystem, and sometimes we have different opinions. You point out mistakes that we make, and I agree with most of them. But we have a constructive discussion there on Elders channel, and I'm really, really grateful for you guys and your commitment. Okay, can we have regular communication from the team on the current developments? Yes, I think we will get back to weekly updates. The reason why it was missing for the last month is we had some things to sort out regarding the infrastructure of the DEX and the game that was left by the previous team. But now we moved forward. We have finally the Kyber swap ready. So it's not like I can give you an update within a week that we've made this, even though we work in sprints. If you're familiar with IT, you know that. But it's sometimes difficult to give you an update week to week because even though it happened a lot on the backstage, it may not be seen on your end, right? But bi-weekly AMAs and updates on the development, we are committed to lead that. Okay, guys. Any more questions? So is this for the IDOs or private sales? This is for the IDO, of Starve Heroes. We release a dedicated post to each private sale and each IDO with with distribution, with the allocations. It is also available on our Launchpad. This table is visible in there. Of course, the correct one, because in this one this passed through our audits and it went through a mistake. Of course, the third tier in staking is Spartan, not Hoplite. The second is Hoplite, not Recruit, and the third is Recruit. But it went live, so we didn't take it down. But on the Launchpad website, it will be the correct one for sure.
Leonidas, there's one question here from an elder, if you don't mind.
Yes.
So he's asking, any info about the chests in the amphitheater?
Yes. So this is part of the one word that I mentioned regarding the police. It will be as well included. It will be a part of our next steps. So this is not something that we, drop into the game with no purpose. It will have a purpose. I don't know if satisfying for you, but I would be satisfied with such. Do I have to rewrite my previous question, or can I catch you later on chat about these whitelist spots on the game? The best thing I'd say, because I don't know what is Game 3 SGG lottery, but if there were any whitelist spots for the Star Heroes IDO, I think that the best way would be to start with Star Heroes Discord, or you can open a ticket and tag me as well, and show screenshots or something, so I can help. Sorry, Yusuf, I just didn't see your question. Yeah, so regarding sexes, we have a question from Vin. I understand that Sparta is a DEX. Will there be any more listings in sexes? So I answered it already on general chat, but for the record, we are talking and we have open conversations with some of the centralized exchanges, and I see value of being listed on as much centralized exchanges as possible, as it increases visibility of Sparta and increases the chances of people buying it because it's easy. And right now, we didn't close any of these deals. These are still open conversations, but we are open to centralized exchange listings in the future. Do you see the longevity of SpartaDex as a launchpad? Will you always offer new projects a core part of Sparta? So do you mean that we'll always offer the IDOs and private sales to Sparta community and Sparta stakers? Chain Champa? IDOs are certainly part of our core business model, yes. No, we are not planning to phase them out, yeah. The SpartaDex was built on top of core foundations, which are NFTs, the game, DEX, and Launchpad. Right now, because we have a good market for launchpads, this is something that we've become more visible back in November through the tier system and the IDOs that we have, and the distribution of a part of the fundraising to GOT tier stakers. That made us more visible, and that led Sparta to all-time high, and we are right now 8 times higher than comparing to to October, November. But we are not forgetting that we are a DEX. Like we have in a name SpartaDex, but we have also SpartaPad. So this is a benefit of having an ecosystem of like different products, which sometimes when one product misses something or misses the narrative on the market, the other product can be, put on the stage and look, here we go. We have a strong product in the current narrative. We have a good deal flow. We can offer that to you, and through that, make Sparta stakeholders feel fulfilled. Is there any potential project on radar to launch by SpartaPad on Scroll and Linea? Right now, no. Right now, no. But we are. This is not confirmed, I'd say, because we have open conversations with plenty of projects, and negotiating deals, like current stage of the market, is very challenging. But we would love to have. We had an option to host an IDO for a Scroll project, but we skipped it because of the, I'd say, low value of the project itself. Does the multiplayer game still on the table? So yes, but it really takes time. And right now we are focusing on providing value to Polish NFT holders and NFTs as a whole. And then on we could move to the multiplayer phase as well. Arranging that so that both NFTs have the strong utility in the game. Same question only with private sales. Will this continue for the foreseeable future? Also, I apologize for making you repeat yourself all the time. I just want to make them full. No problem, Vin. So yes, we plan to continue our activity in the private sales, as long as we are able to gather valuable projects to be available on our SpartaPad. Since when did the dev team change? Like November, in early November, late October, our team changed. Yeah, so I've been around here since November, so I might miss the earlier history of Sparta development. Yeah, so it's around that time. And now we have like more than one extra dev working on that. James Bond, that's right. We will offer IDO and privacy as long as we are in a business. How do we find out about the private products on Dex? Yes, follow SpartaDex on Twitter. We are always announcing that in advance. You can also, keep track on our website, which is launchpadspartadex.io. But for some deals, as I've mentioned, this will be only exclusive to Sparta VC group, Telegram group, that we will launch in a matter of days, next week. So make sure to add your Telegram handle, launchpad.spartadex.io if you are eligible. So make sure that there is no such deal that you can miss. How many devs do you have in a team, if you can reveal? So right now we have, let me count them. Around 9 devs working on that in different spheres, as we have front ends, we have DevOps, we have backend developers as well, and full stack developers. Where can we see our current valuation of Logdrop LPs? Like on our front end in AppSpartaDex.io, you can see the LP number that you have, and you can calculate the value of your LP. Like right now, we are not displaying this, but I already spoke to our devs to prioritize that, because I can see that most of you would like to know what is the value of it. I bet that this is because of the price appreciations of assets that you've combined to add it. As I checked it like a month ago or so, and it was like 25% at least appreciation on Ethereum, Bitcoin pool, for example. Will Sparta be multi-chain outside of the two you mentioned? So we are looking for opportunities on the market, and going multi-chain is challenging for a DEX because, as someone asked previously, Nostradamus, I believe, it's challenging because you need to gather liquidity. In terms of Launchpad, we are literally available to launch basically across most of the chains right now. All EVM chains are available on our Launchpad, and the distribution as well. We are looking for solutions to, like, for example, distributed tokens on Injective or something. It's quite tricky because of the refund option, because there is, I'd say, poor communication between chains, like, for example, Injective and Arbitrum or other Cosmos chains. But if there is a project that we negotiate with and we agree to launch, and this is on a completely different chain, I believe that we can also make a distribution on BRC, for example. So it's not the case, but in terms of DEX, it's a bit more complicated because the usability of the DEX is only when you have a liquidity. Okay, so I've seen the last question. I have sent a mail about that to the team. Okay, I will look into it. What about APR from Senate? Yeah, I've mentioned that we are working on a way to reward users and police NFT and basically all of our users and make it, decent for you guys and reward you for the commitment of developing the police. Do you have any plans to run any campaign to attract new liquidity into the DEX? So right now, our focus, like the marketing focus, is more on the Launchpad sphere, and it's obviously because we are planning to have 4 IDOs and 3 private sales in February. So this month, 7 big events, and it's from the perspective of the marketing. It's really time-consuming to make a plan for all of that to match. So we are planning to run a campaign that will increase volumes on Sparta. But on the other hand, we are aware that current feedback regarding the designs, etc., needs to be implemented. And therefore, we won't run any campaign regarding the DEX before we release the Kyber swap integration, for that example. Okay, guys. We are here for 2 hours.
Oof.
Thank you. Oof. Thank you. Thank you for being with us for your commitment. 33 people, Friday evening. You don't have families, girlfriends, private life?
No. Through my girlfriend to be here with Sparta. She's no longer important.
Okay. Yeah, I can say it to my wife.
Yeah. I can get her back when Sparta does a nice little price increase. Then I will go pick her up in a private jet or something,
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
All right, man. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Leonidas. And I'm gonna hop off now.
Thank
Adios.
you, guys. Thank you, Roro. Share your feedback about our great community manager, Roro, Leon, on the general chat. If you have any more questions, I will try to answer them as well. So see you guys. Have a nice weekend. Take a rest. Okay, bye, guys. Thank you.